In a world where violence moves quietly, where death arrives without warning, and where the most dangerous man is the one who barely speaks, one truth becomes undeniable: power belongs to those who say less. No Country for Old Men transforms this idea into a chilling reality, and through Robert Greene's fourth law of power, always say less than necessary, the film reveals how silence can control conversations, shift outcomes, and determine who survives. Robert Greene writes, "The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish, and no character embodies that principle more completely than Anton Chigurh, a man whose silence is more terrifying than any threat he could speak aloud. The lesson begins the moment Chigurh is arrested by a deputy who talks too much, filling the air with unnecessary words while Chigurh remains in complete, calculated silence. Within moments, without saying a single thing, Chigurh kills him. His silence is not emptiness, it is dominance. It blinds others, hides intention, and turns every moment into uncertainty. The gas station scene proves this again. The old man attempts harmless small talk, but every unnecessary word becomes a mistake. Chigurh forces him to drown in his own speech until the coin toss, a silent test of fate, reminds us that talking freely in the presence of danger is the quickest path to doom. Here, silence is not passive, it is predatory, precise, and lethal. Llewellyn Moss becomes the opposite example. Moss talks, explains, negotiates, and justifies, revealing pieces of himself everywhere he goes. When he finds the drug deal gone wrong and takes the money, his biggest mistake is not taking the cash. It's what he says afterward. Every conversation he has becomes a breadcrumb, a trace, a clue. Chigurh moves like a ghost, leaving no trail because he speaks almost nothing. Moss creates trails because he speaks too much. Even when Moss is clever, hiding the money in the motel duct, he cannot avoid interacting with people, and every unnecessary word is another thread tying him to death. Carson Wells, the confident bounty hunter, makes the most fatal mistake of all. He reveals his strategy. He talks too much in the hospital, exposing what he knows, what he wants, and how he plans to survive. When Chigurh confronts him in the hotel, Wells tries to negotiate, tries to explain, but the moment he begins talking, his death becomes certain. Words expose him. Silence empowers Chigurh. Wells dies mid-sentence, proving the law in its purest form. Those who speak give their enemies the tools to destroy them. Sheriff Ed, Tom Bell, older and wiser, sees that the world has changed. Criminals no longer brag, no longer confess, no longer reveal anything. Instead, they operate in silence so complete that even a lifetime of experience cannot interpret their motives. Bell realizes that you cannot fight what you cannot read, and Chigurh cannot be read. His silence makes him untouchable. Bell retreats from the world not because he is weak, but because the rules have shifted toward those who reveal nothing. In this new landscape, the silent dominate the loud. The final and most haunting example comes when Chigurh confronts Carla Jean. He offers her the coin toss, but she refuses to participate. She refuses to speak. Her silence shakes him in a way no one else has managed, but his vow stands, and he kills her anyway. Moments later, fate intervenes. Chigurh is struck by a car. Even the most disciplined silence cannot control randomness, yet even injured, he speaks as little as possible, disappearing into the world once more like a shadow. No Country for Old Men ends with Sheriff Bell reflecting on dreams of his father, a quiet, introspective moment that reveals the deeper meaning of Law 4. Silence is not only a weapon of intimidation, it is a shield against chaos, a way to survive when the world stops making sense. Moss dies because he speaks too much. Wells dies because he reveals his intentions. Carla Jean dies because her silence arrives too late, but Chigurh endures because silence keeps him unreadable, unpredictable, and unstoppable. The law remains simple. The less you say, the more powerful you become. Words can be used against you, twisted, traced, or weaponized. Silence blinds your enemies, forces them to guess, and keeps you beyond their reach. In any world ruled by danger, ambition, or uncertainty, silence is the ultimate shield. This is no country for old men. And this is law number 4 of the 48 laws of power. If you want more cinematic dissections of psychology, strategy, and power, subscribe to Cine Authority, where every film hides a lesson and we reveal them all. Until then, stay quiet, stay invisible, stay powerful.